Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, OCD, has been a prominent factor in my life for as long as I can remember. As a child, I was plagued by an incessant need to constantly check and double-check any task or chore I had completed, from putting my shoes on the correct feet to ensuring that all of my schoolwork was exactly perfect. This only intensified as I grew older and mature, with OCD becoming a significant contributor to me experiencing anxiety and depression when faced with challenges outside of the realm, which I could easily control. My obsessive-compulsive behavior results from an inability to feel contentment after completing tasks. The thought that they were not done right or not done perfectly is always on my mind, leading to a cycle of unsatisfied restlessness until I am capable of repeating the same action again. To outsiders, it can seem like OCD is nothing more than an inconvenience. However, it has oftentimes been so crippling that it prevents me from doing even simple activities or taking part in everyday conversations with others. One example of how OCD affects my life is within the context of relationships. When making small talk with someone new or trying to engage in any sort of meaningful conversation, I find myself fixating on every detail and word being said, attempting to ascertain if what is being said is right or whether I'm saying the wrong thing in response, often resulting in desolation and difficulty establishing strong connections with people around me. In terms of day-to-day tasks such as eating breakfast or brushing my teeth, these become incredibly laborious processes due to my obsessive nature. No matter how many times I check, count, repeat, and analyze any given action, if something doesn't meet up perfectly with my expectations, then there will always be an urge for me to try again until it does. That said, this can be counterintuitive, as this way of thinking often leads me down rabbit holes filled with doubt, where I spend too much time making sure every minor detail complies before moving on to the next task at hand, leading to missed deadlines, lack of focus on larger issues, and overall hindrance on productivity throughout each day. Fortunately, however, over time I have learned strategies which enable me to cope better with OCD by allowing me to recognize when certain behaviors are taking place and intervene accordingly before they become too damaging or intrusive into other aspects of my life. For instance, during moments where feelings of compulsion arise through fear that something isn't right despite multiple checks having already been completed, instead of giving into these thoughts immediately and starting anew each time these feelings occur, instead take a few minutes for yourself away from whatever activity you're doing at the time, and recognize patterns which might have led you down this path. Doing this lets you practice mindful breathing techniques so that you can stay grounded within reality without succumbing too heavily into your own worries about perfectionism, enabling you greater ability to challenge your beliefs about needing everything to be done perfectly each single time despite evidence telling otherwise. Ultimately, though, living life while managing OCD continues being a struggle, but one which is made easier through consistent effort towards improvement. With every step forward taken towards understanding triggers, developing healthy coping skills, and addressing problematic behaviors, comes greater peace in knowing self-care practices combined with resilience will allow this anxiousness to eventually pass. Learning how best manage its effects has been no easy feat, but one which has provided invaluable lessons regarding patience, acceptance, and grace along this journey towards rediscovering who I am outside society's definition surrounding what constitutes right and wrong.